Welcome, everyone. Today's conversation is not about titles, positions, or leadership cliches. It is about what happens to a leader when cultures collide, expectations change, and identity evolves across countries and generations. Alex, welcome.
Thank you, Muniinder.
My guest today has spent years building bridges between Europe and India, education and industry, ambition and humanity. He has helped shape thousands of careers while navigating leadership in one of the most dynamic environments in the world. You have lived and worked across multiple countries: Italy, France, Spain, India. What part of Italian Alex survived everywhere? And what part had to completely change?
Okay, well, that requires a lot of sincerity, and I would say that for sure, food remains very Italian. As soon as I can, that's absolutely what I appreciated. I appreciate a lot Indian food for sure, but the food is something that stays with you. Apart from that, Italy is the country of Milan, especially where I come from, is the country of image, of design, of fashion. So that somehow emerges you in your habits, your behavior to act in a certain way. Also, I must say, Milan is my country, so people are expected to expect me to behave in a certain way, if you want. While the beauty of India for me has been that I'm for everybody. I'm Alessandro. Okay, so India's taken out, I would say, the real me, and the real me, which is more of a people person, and India and Mumbai also is extremely welcoming, which has helped also in that. So I would say that India has helped me to pull out the real me. Then, as you know, these things, as we always say, India doesn't give you answers, but helps you to get more questions about yourself. That's exactly what happened.
Was there a moment in India when you realized, I cannot lead here the way I led in Europe?
Oh, the first time you step in India, you realize that. And in fact, we see that normally foreigners either they run away after a few months from India or they stay forever. So those that stay forever are those that are comfortable with what we were saying before, with dealing with your real self and training and developing and adapting. Those that run away are those that are not comfortable with that. So I would say the moment you step in India, everything, the relationships are so different and so complex at the beginning, and then become so easier later on that you realize immediately that you need a different you to get along and enjoy and be well here.
I came across one of your posts where you wrote that even after 15 years, saying goodbye to graduating students never gets any easier. That really stayed with me. Why do those moments still affect you so deeply?
It's I'm a bit of an emotional person, and so that for sure. But also with I call them kids, though they're MBA students, but still, when kids come in, then you have 2 years with them of fights, of successes, of a lot of interactions that are very emotional. You have really fights sometimes. You have really big successes in events that you do together, where you fight together, you build things together. So it's 2 intense years where you see these kids totally change, but really radically change. Superficially in the way they behave, dress, and so on, but also deep down, you see how they grow into executives. So it's 2 intense emotional years, and suddenly you say goodbye. And you know that for as much as they will come for alumni, at best you will see once a year with other 500 people. So it's really goodbye, go. It's for me, it's tough every time.
Most leaders learn how to become tougher with time. You seem to have remained emotionally invested. How do you stay deeply human without becoming emotionally exhausted?
Yeah, that has been a good learning here, I must tell you. India is a lot about drama. So you have dramas at every other minute. At the beginning, I would take all these dramas on me and carry the emotions on my shoulders. After a while, India teaches you that all the dramas are just dramas, and sometimes you doubt even the real ones, and you ask proof of also the real ones. So sometimes you feel tough at the beginning, and then you realize that it's you need to be a little bit not tough, but not carry the dramas, the emotions, the emotional load of everybody. So you learn to be. I will never be not empathetic. I will never be cold. So I always try to give the utmost attention to everybody when I'm speaking, when they're sharing things. So really trying to support and to listen, to help, but stay away a little bit from the emotional load.
Do leaders today hide emotion too much?
Yeah, they do. Definitely, they do. And we are at a very interesting transition period. We come from an age where leaders were supposed to have very clear, sure replies, be tough. The tougher the leader, the most leadership the leader had. Nowadays, strange is a bit of a paradox, but with AI and tech being coming in more and more into our lives, is the human side that is more needed because machines don't give that. And so today it is needed more empathy, more human side, and leaders still have to learn that because we have grown with this concept that a leader has clear answers to everybody, to everything, doesn't listen, and just tells everybody what to do.
Alex, you work with young professionals constantly. What worries you more about this generation?
Yeah.
Is it their impatience or their loneliness?
Loneliness. Somehow I appreciate their impatience. Okay, you have to deal with it, but I appreciate because it shows that they want to do things. Okay, it also shows that these are very fast times. With AI, we see that every week everything changes. And anyway, in the past few years, everything changed every 6 months. Now we have AI, we have geopolitics, everything. So I think it's normal to be impatient, to want to do the things immediately before things change again, and to cope with the speed, the velocity of the times. But what I'm seeing is that because of social media, because of many things, I see that behind this velocity that might make you think that they are on top of everything, which they are technically. I mean, I'm very jealous of how they are fast and on top of everything. I can't cope with this speed technically, but this hides I think deep loneliness. Before now you rely on social media, on your phone and so on. Before there was the family was much stronger. Now most people live in cities by themselves. There was the community in the village, in the town. You had your own community. Even work was a community because most people would join a company and stay the whole life. So the company became another social circle, and these social circles, you would rely on that. Even your friends, you were living in the same city for all your life, and I see my friends back in Italy, they are very close to each other. They see constantly. They do on holiday, go on holiday together. But now people shift cities, go abroad, keep on shifting countries. So you can't rely anymore on these communities, and they start to rely on their social networks. But we know that's very shallow. It is 140 words or 7 seconds span of attention. And you see that deep down and not so deep, they are fundamentally very lonely.
You once mentioned that one of India's biggest transformations has been psychological, that people now believe they can shape the future.
That for sure, that aspect, Europe hasn't understood it yet, but especially because it's quite new. Okay, I think it's the last few years that I've been here that I've seen this shift. I would say post-COVID, India has changed dramatically in this being aware that they are shaping the world, they will shape the world, they will drive the world. I'm convinced about that. It's 1.5 billion people, of which 1 billion connected digitally with AI growing. So they will shape AI, and all the shared services of all the big groups are being put in India. So also innovation will be driven from India, also from all the global companies. But this has happened, the GCCs have happened in the last 3 years. So this has happened post-COVID. So Europe hasn't realized that. And that's my biggest headache that I try to, I'm also the president of the Italian Chamber of Commerce for India. And so that's what I try with monthly meetings in Italy to make people understand that India is not the one of before for in this aspect, but also in the level of innovation, of speed, of professionality of the people. India is becoming just like the rest of the Western world. So this is not clear in Europe at all. And I don't understand people that are seeing other countries. I don't want to name this country, go to other countries when they don't understand that the future, no, it's not the future, the present, or now is the present, is not the future, is here. And likewise, I always say India doesn't understand well the slowness of Europe, which is not being slow. It's just a different approach. I see now happening in India what I saw happening in Italy when I was growing up in the 60s and the 70s. So there is this energy, everything needs to be changed, and everything can be changed, everything can be challenged. And so people are ready to take decisions, even not mastering the situation 100%, not having all the answers. Europe has gone through that in the past and has a very, now it's almost a century of going through that, through wars that have challenged beliefs, that have created new beliefs, that have proved bad, and then all the development, the industrial development, and so on. And it has created a different approach overall to life and to growth. So it might be slower in the growth of the GDP and of certain of innovation, but there is a welfare that is nowhere else in the world. Europe is considered smaller than less important than the US. It's just different from the US. But if you do it in terms of not pure GDP, but in terms of power of purchasing power, GDP is as big as the US, but with a much stronger welfare. So people have everything paid. You have the pension, you have healthcare, you have schools, So it's a different approach, something that in the US and in India is not the same thing. It's a different approach that I think it's with a lot of regulations, of processes, of respect for human rights. So I think Europe and India can help each other a lot, because somehow each one of them is a bit too extreme in their positions. And as usual, the right thing is in the middle. So I think even in this, they can help each other a lot at this stage. And in this geopolitics where we see the rest of the world going apart, if Europe and India get together, really it's one third of the world, and with a solid basis to build on.
Yeah. And what does India misunderstand about Europe?
I would say that's the biggest thing: law and processes and approvals and certifications, all things that we have learned, Europe has learned on its skin, that is taken to a world that cannot go on like that. India needs to grow, okay, needs to develop. So for sure cannot be caged into all these rules and certifications, because first they have to take at least 500 million people out of real poverty. Nevertheless, again, here a balance is needed. So certain kind of processes and slow pace in taking decisions must be learned at a certain level.
European leadership is often perceived as structured and institutional. Indian leadership is often adaptive and improvisational. Which model do you think will win in the next decade?
It will be a mix. It will be a mix of the two. And that's, I think, the challenge for leaders, that they need to be able to find the fine-tuning, which will not be a status quo, because everything is changing. So it will be surfing on the wave, being able to surf on the wave without being thrown in the front and without being left behind, because we need to grow. But we have very big challenges, very big problems that need to be solved, and there's no reply, there's no clear reply to that. So it goes with the experience, the empathy, and the values of the leaders, which nowadays are a little bit lacking.
In the next decade, how do future leaders need to become culturally bilingual?
And multiple cultures. So each culture is not good or bad, has their own perspective that came out from geopolitics, geography, certain times of the development of the world, and so on. We need leaders that have lived in different cultures and that can understand the different perspectives.
Alex, you have spent years building global learning ecosystems, not just classrooms. What is one thing business schools still teach badly about leadership?
Oh my God, we don't teach badly anything. We teach we teach very good everything. But still, we are in that moment of shift from leadership that is very structured to a leadership that is very human skills based. So adaptive, empathy, with culture, with different perspectives. So it's a new kind of leadership that is taking shape right now, and that relies a lot on personal skills.
What has been your loneliest leadership moment?
It's when there are problems. When there are problems, I've had a few problems, big problems in the past. When there are problems, they're they come to you. So it's there, it's your decision in the end, and it's your skills, your sensibility, your experience that needs to take the decision, and clearly everybody leaves the decision to you. So in tough moments, that's where you feel alone, and it's correct like this, I think, in the end.
One belief about leadership that you've completely changed your mind about? And what's something younger Alex believes so strongly that today's Alex would smile at or even disagree with?
I would say that young Alex believed that he could do everything it's himself by himself. Now you know that you can do anything with a good team.
You seem to care deeply about creating the right jobs for students, not just placements. Where did that mindset come from? What taught you to think that way?
But you know, his experience teaches you along the way, and I'm someone who always thinks about what I think and what I do, and the outcomes. And I've seen that students were performing better in places where they liked their job, and the same thing applies for me. I see that when I'm in a company that I don't like, or just that is different from my way of thinking, I perform much worse than the opposite. So I realized quickly that there are, for example, there are people that are made for startups environment and people that are made for multinational environments. And clearly, if you place one in a great job, but it's not that 50%, that side that he or she is done for, she will quit very quickly and be frustrated after a month. And that's a broad separation between two broad groups, but there are many other factors. So for our students to perform well, he has to be in the right environment and be happy and enjoy and believe in what they are doing. And that you learn from yourself first.
Leadership is often discussed as performance, but conversations like these remind us that leadership is also translation between cultures, generations, ambition, and humanity. Alex, thank you for sharing not just your journey, but your reflections
Thank you
behind the
very
journey.
much for the lovely questions.